So Lori, Noreen, Vallow, Daybell has been restored to a level that the court has deemed is competent to stand trial. Let's go ahead and take a look at it today. Lori, Vallow, Daybell, Ryan, Cox. How many names does she need? She's got them all. Has been restored to actual mental capacity, a level which the court legally can actually charge her and move forward with the actual charges for what she has actually done. So, what will happen here in the interim? In the interim, the following things will happen, and some things have already happened. So, the first thing, a transportation order from the state mental hospital back to the Fremont County Jail has been signed. It is, on the actual county website. It shows that a transportation order from the Department of Corrections to go pick her up at the state mental hospital and bring her back to the actual jail. Now, for security reasons, they do not say what date it'll happen. They do not say what time it'll happen. Heck, for all we know right now, it could have already happened. She could be back at the jail right now. Unlikely, it'll most likely take place this weekend, but we do not know that for sure. But for one thing that we do know for sure is that she will be back there in the county courthouse to formally be arraigned on the charges of murder of JJ and Tylee and Tammy on the 19th of April. At 9:30 a.m., she will be back in court to, enter her plea of either guilty or not guilty. In case you're not aware, in the state of Idaho, you only have the option of two pleas. It's either guilty of the charges that you are being charged with or not guilty. There is no not guilty by reason of mental defect or any temporary insanity, plea. That is why she went away for restorative care. They do not have that in the state of Idaho, one of only 3 states where there is no defense for being mentally ill. So Lori Vallow has been sent back to the actual court. She will enter her plea on the 19th. Now, it should be noted that her plea, her competency, and all of it has nothing to do with the charges that she has pending out of the state of Arizona in the death of Charles Vallow. She is awaiting charges and formally be charged there as well in the state of Arizona for murder in the first degree of Charles Vallow and her involvement in that. Now, in order for her to be arraigned on those charges, the case in Idaho must be finished up first, and she will have the same afforded ability and rights when she is if she is ever sent back to the state of Arizona, where she will have the option to go through a mental health evaluation in the state of Arizona again and dragging all the entire thing all over again in Arizona if she is ever sent back there. But if she is convicted of murder in the state of Idaho of Tylee and JJ, setting the one for Tammy and the conspiracy charges aside and everything else that she's charged with, if she's found guilty of just the murder of JJ and Tylee, she will never be brought up formally charged for the death of Charles. It's kind of like we're going to hold this on the back burner over here until later on. If she gets away with the charges in Idaho, they most certainly are going to extradite her to Arizona to stand trial for the death of Charles Vallow. Now, the question has been kicked around on the internet for some time now, and I would like to address her mental health and mental health capacity when it comes to the state of Idaho. A lot of people have asked, now that she has been restored, or if she is ever restored, and now we know she has been, if she is restored, could she be deemed mentally incapable to stand trial at a later date and thusly be sent back to the actual state hospital? And the answer is, unfortunately, yes. She could be found mentally incompetent later on. But the proceedings would happen like this. If she becomes a disturbance, which we all know is a highly likelihood that she will become a disturbance there at the court, if she is found to be mentally, unable to proceed, they will hold the first couple of meetings via Zoom. The court case will go forward from the 19th on. She just won't be there in court itself. She'll have Mr. Archibald there in her actual place in the courtroom. Now, if they will send a state representative from the state mental hospital there to Fremont to evaluate her. If they determine that she's acting out in court or whatever the issue is, that she is mentally incompetent again, they will have to go through this entire process all over again. Court ordering her to the state hospital for mental health reasons. The entire stay on the case will then take place again, but highly unlikely that it'll happen, but it could happen. The reason why they would send the state representative to the actual court, to the actual jail itself, is to stop stop it from the case from going forward, stopping, going forward, stopping, going forward, stopping down the road. But yes, it is possible that she could. Now, the other question along with that is, a lot of people have been kicking around on the internet is, if she's found guilty of the actual charges itself, all of the charges in the state of Idaho, the murder of JJ, Tylee, Tammy, the conspiracy charges, the abandonment charges, the fraud from Social Security, if she's found guilty of it all, what is her total likelihood of a sentence? The life without the possibility of parole. The death penalty is on the table in the state of Idaho. She could take a plea deal with the state of Idaho for everything and just say, I will not testify against Chad. I will, give me life without the possibility of parole, and I will give up my rights to appeal, just like in the case of Christopher Watts. Their appeals process, if you take a plea in the state of Idaho, it's just like the state of Colorado in that aspect. You give up so much of your rights to appeal, you get the automatic sentence, and you get sent off to a state prison. Doesn't mean it's going to be in the state of Idaho. It could be anywhere in the United States, because the state of Idaho is at the top of the list. Actually, they're number 3 on the list when it comes for the states that actually transport prisoners out of state to other states to be housed, especially those who are low risk to escape. And in her case, her assessment would most likely be low, and she would they just don't have the capacity. We'll just cut it to that. The other thing that people have been asking about is, could she be sentenced and then they say you're mentally unable to care for yourself in prison, and then remand her to the state mental hospital? No, is the simple answer to that. They would send her to prison. They would medicate her, or probably put her if she is deemed a risk to herself. They would medicate her, try therapy and everything else, and then try to stabilize her to the point where she could be within a protective custody unit. If that doesn't look like it's going to be a possible fit, there are several other things in other states where they could put her, but she wouldn't go back to the state mental hospital where she was in the state of Idaho. She'd be sent off to somewhere completely different. So that's where we're at. She'll be arraigned on the 19th. She'll have to stand, up for the charges that what she did. She take a plea agreement. She could take a plea agreement at the same time and roll over on Chad and blame everything on him, blame everything on Alex, and say none of this happened. And you damn well better believe that Chad, and Mr. Pryor are watching everything that she is going to do from here on out with a close eye. where she will spend the rest of her pathetic life for what she has done. So that's the update on Lori Vallow and where things are going from here. You have a wonderful day today, and thank you for watching. Hey, you've made it to the end of another video. You can go ahead and watch more content here and subscribe here. Thank you.